Keyboys, their grand final matchup in SPS against Onic. Have they learned from their mistakes? Have they learned from that 4-0 loss against the Sky Kings? The answer instantly so far has been, we got to trade on Keyboy.
Man, a lot of damage. Almost the Voloisky pattern here, just giving up the first blood. Looking at the emblems though, a lot of defensive stats picked up by Onic right here, avoiding the burst potential and also going for the agility. Especially for Sans, he needs to be around the place, but look, he's going tenacity, not the wilderness blessing. So he is attempting to be a lot more active, a lot more risky in the middle of these big team fights.
That, and he popped and rocked the Purify, right? He respects, understands, and even Calvin Unada is rocking the Purify. Let's see the first lethal battle. It falls to the hands of Onic, falls to the hands of Kyrie specifically. Very clean take, and Bigatron Alpha lost their first raid.
It's almost as if Onic are so confident in their positioning, they don't require any repositioning. All they need to do is survive the forced engages by Bigatron Alpha. So with Purifies, that makes sense. But with the slows coming in from the Lilia, that could lead Onic to miscalculate and maybe overextend.
Okay. Seems like with the Fanny here in play, Super Ken,
Good cables, forcing a flicker early, but it's still chasing him down.
Wow.
Cutthroat available. Those are some precise cable maneuvers there. Sorizo gets ganked as well on in the bottom lane against the Dairoth. This matchup is an interesting one, right? We don't usually see the Dairoth as an answer to the Terizla. So shed some light into it, Rashi.
With the damage reduction, with the early game damage potential, right? Especially when it's assisted right here, all the way in the early game with the mid laner and the jungler. It's just very difficult to try and be as oppressive on this Terizla. It's a hero that forces you to move up forward and makes you susceptible to ganks. So with an Akai, you can force him into a different situation, and with the pressure in the experience first, Onic will take the first turtle.
And it's very classic Bigatron Alpha. The Bigatron Alpha that we've seen in the playoffs. When they pick up the Fanny, they don't care about these neutral objectives. Super Key with a Timer's Revenge, not connecting just yet. CW has already popped in that heavy crossbow. Oh, and CW gets it, despite a Bennett's Rage used up by Shive. It does not matter.
clean swipe there from Calvin Unada. 3 minutes in, and we see here no first blood, no kills on the board just yet here. Both teams playing it rather patiently. I expected an aggressive composition, an aggressive play style here from side of Bigatron Alpha. It seems like Onic can weather that.
I feel like it's gonna be, the big moment will be in the second turtle, man. That's where both teams will have some items, some outplay potential that they have confidence in, and they're gonna throw at each other. And by the way, speaking of the Dairoth, there is a synergy with the Irithel. We talked about how the Irithel doesn't do as much damage, requires more items than others to try and even stay as relevant as a real threat. With the Dairoth, that's a whole different story. They can very easily go for the Armor Shred into CW, just running someone down, and that is a dangerous scenario.
Could even go for this. Keyboy's Divine Judgment. Good dash away by the Timer's Revenge there. Popped in by Super Key. Both teams playing a very slow game in game number 1 of the series. None of them want to overcommit or give anyone a little more of a lead. Charging up. Divine Judgment canceling the Timer's Revenge. Now Super Key caught all alone.
Oh my
3-man or 4-man penalty zone into another round, but now it's going to be comboed together with a Bennett's Rage. Now it's Boots rotating over. The Bruce Bastion in the front.
Hey!
Boots with the Abyssal Strike Flicker. What an absolute W. Keyboy with a flicker forward again. Sorizo getting the sustain, but it's Super Ken with a cutthroat, not ready just yet. Jumps into the back. And it's an equalizer. 1-2-1.
A slight overcommitment move there by Keyboy, punished heavily by Super Ken. CW here needs to be careful.
Good cutthroat over the wall, but it might be a mistake, and it is. You don't make these mistakes against Onic. Onic capitalize fully.
Super Ken says, hey, Keyboy, you overcommit, I can do you one better. He overcommitted himself again just before the turtle.
Ooh, Boots as well, walking up and now getting taken down. It's Moreno who takes the kill. A good acquisition of kill there, 4 minutes in.
And for both teams though, Onic just seems so far ahead of the curve here. Look at CW, runs into Super Ken unexpectedly, was able to find a way to go get into safety right in front of Kyrie, and that is what caused Super Ken to get taken out there. Tom as well.
Divine Judgment into a heavy crossbow hit. You're not surviving that one. Shivet taken down up top. Meanwhile now, it comes down to a retry battle. Heavy spin already used up right now to try to evade. And Super Ken's a level up. That's a retry still won by Kyrie. Another realm saves him for a bit, but now it's getting the burst damage. Moreno picks up the kill. Onic pick up the objective.
The objective and the kill top side. Meanwhile, Bigatron have compensation. They got Kyrie. I feel like it's still worth it for Onic.
Agreed.
It's not a bad trade at all. I don't think Onic has any issue taking that trade right there. Getting CW ahead, right, and still getting the turtle. So still keeping ahead of the EXP curve as well. Of course, it's only one turtle, so we haven't seen that big of a difference, but Keyboy
going in, Super Ken finds it. Keyboy now caught, and that should be a kill, and it's Moreno who picks up his third kill this game. Sans already in front now. It's a 1v1, Moreno versus Sans. Oh, some recalls as well.
I love it here. Keyboy again, twice now. A little too aggressive, right? He's trying to screen, but oh my god, CW here might be caught.
Trying to bait out the Purify, I believe, right now. Renner's Apathy not connecting. It threaded the needle. On to nothing. Super keen now with a flicker, but now gets knocked up. The conceal doesn't get you out. It gets CW a kill.
2 kills already, minute 6. What do you think about this, Arashi? Though, bottom lane, the first structure of the game. See,
jeez. Shive just got deleted. Absolutely deleted. Dragged back to the heavy crossbow hit, and Calvin Banana will keep on eating.
That's a trade essentially for both teams. Bigatron taking the bottom side, but losing their gold lane and the turret in one fell swoop. Still worth it for Onic. It's the small trades like this that somehow Onic always wins, that builds up that great gold advantage. And even right now, even if CW doesn't do as well, like what I was talking about earlier, Boots on an uncharacteristically aggressive hero can still be a huge problem later on in the game, bursting down Super Marino or Super Ken before anything.
Divine Judgment, and it truly is a Divine Judgment. Super Key just had to take that judgment. Super Ken now knows there are no CC abilities that can lock onto him fully. Only the heavy spin is there to really counter him. He still goes in, heavy spin pins him down right now, and that's gonna be the retribution onto the purple buff, and a shutdown as well. CW picks up his 4th kill, and that was a bounty. 2.4K and building.
Oh, Calvin Unada now very ahead. If you compare it to Beatrix, oh my god, 022, 403. Man, Onic is ahead in this game.
I think ahead is a bit of an understatement, and this is dangerous. Every single time Bigatron Alpha loses control like this in the early game, they find it very difficult to recover. Onic is the exact opposite, and now it's going to be one more trade, but for Onic, it's also augmented by that turtle take, and of course an invade, but Keyboy.
Tarn's Revenge and the Rage, Bandit's Rage as well, but another realm there by Sans saves him for a bit and saves him all the way. Keyboy gets out, not even burning a flicker for it.
Calculation, man, the calculation, the harassment movement in the jungles, the Bigatron Alpha, they got baited.
Look at the fact. What the heck? They only lost once, this roster, from season 11 to 12.
Wow.
Man, look at Bigatron Alpha and how they're corralling around together, because they're afraid of a pick of potential, man. Looking at the items right here, Enchanted Talisman and Ice Queen 1 for Super Moreno. The kills have been generous to him, but Sun somehow has even more. It's burst against DPS, and I think that's the same, but the opposite is on the side of the gold lane. Onic has more DPS, Bigatron has more burst, so fine-tuning how they fight will be important here.
Boots is already bullying Ken there. Kyrie gonna be poked down by the Lilia, by Chorizo, by Key, but it doesn't matter. The heavy spin still comes down. Super Ken, finds him with the retry battle. That's a some strike now, locked in the penalty zone, but it's Chorizo and Key who loses their lives. They use everything to get Ken that purple buff. And now Ken walking forward, knocked up, and the fadeaway doesn't quite get him. Ken still gets out, but still, a big win for Onic, 4K gold lead.
I mean, even after the 2 kills, the mid turret collapsed. And man, CW alone here, very confident.
Wow. No respect whatsoever. Almost costed him though. But look at the lifesteal, man. Damn. It's gonna take Bigatron Alpha so much more if they want to take him down. If you think an Irithel is difficult enough to deal with, Normally, 5-0 on is even worse, but look at Super Ken.
Boots doesn't care. Oh my god.
The flicker play. Almost the outplay. But yeah, I mean, even because Boots on the Daroth here, Super Ken forced to build a Dreadnought armor.
Divine Judgment, Immortality gonna be popped. Super Key, how is he gonna escape this one? He doesn't. Penalty Zone comes into the back, but the Nether Realm grants them a second life. Ken with the combo, Shive farming in the mid lane, not trying to go for this fight at all. They lose their XP and their roam again, and they do not get anything for it.
Super Ken trying to get the purple buff in return. I believe he will pick it up, unless Sans stole it away from him. But all right, small trade back, and Kyrie, look at the proactiveness. Whenever anything is done, a turret, a turtle, a lord, just go straight for the buffs, the neutral camps. Again, small things Onic does. Builds up to the gold advantage. But take a look at the instant replay by the Samsung Galaxy series here. All began with a Divine Judgment. And Super Key is just way too squishy against the rest of the team. The penalty zone starts everything for Bigatron, but everyone else is too far to really follow up at the same time. And they need to be a bit more coordinated, especially if they want to try and get a leg up against Onic.
Onic making it look like it was routine, right? I feel like it was a routine for them, that Divine Judgment setup. Now, with this first Lord here, what are their goals? Perhaps 2 base turrets here, I feel like they can grab if they manipulate the waves successfully. Let's see here, the defense from the side of Bigatron, 7,000 gold lead now. Bottom lane, Daroth, Thyroth, and as well as Fanny, they're going at it.
So by the way, Ken didn't get the purple buff, not because Sans stole it, but because Onic have frozen it. The purple buff that he went to, which is a small one, he didn't get it. He only has the orange buff now. And this is where Onic are really able to maximize every little thing in the game. Against the Fanny, they know what to do. Super Ken jumps in, Lord can be cleared out, so no base turrets at risk of getting taken down for now. Ken just dives into the mid lane. Tries to cut the wave and should be successful at it.
11-4. Okay, 12 minutes in. And Super Ken doing everything that he can to relieve off pressure in any lane that is possible. But bottom lane now.
Oh, Flagrant Divine Judgment, but the Target Bench cancels it away. Now Super Ken jumps in, but the heavy spin! Fights Shiva! Boots goes for the Abyssum Strike, but now loses his life in the process of diving all the way deep. Gold lane for XP. Super Ken looking for another initiation, just jumps in, tries to bait a few more resources. Who won that?
I think Onic still comes out on top. No base turrets, but they shut down Sive even further, especially with the game going to the late stages. It's going to be very difficult. You noticed earlier though, Sans with a single blast from the Faramis was able to chunk Super Chorizo down like a quarter of his HP. That is a very behind Terizla without a lot of items. In these big team fights, it's going to be very difficult for Bigatron Alpha to keep up. And Onic, it's just a minor setback. They're going straight back to the setups. It's waiting around, getting the buffs, and ensuring this next Lord is completely uncontested. And they're denying Super Ken any areas to really go for the split push. This is what's so dangerous about Onic, man. They all are confident enough to actually push around individually without any backup, and they feel like it's completely safe. They know the calculations, and look at that. It's gonna be a setup in the top side.
And by the way, it's the same build for Super Ken that we saw yesterday. It's the tanky build, only with the Heptaseas and the Melvic Roar. Those are the 2 damage items that he is relying on. He's already building towards what I believe is an immortality here. He has the Anti-Cuirass. Is opening up the map, just trying to give Bigatron Alpha some vision. And the Lord, it's not much of a dance. It takes 2 to dance, it takes 2 to tango. Onic, they're alone. It's a free Lord.
Super Ken will not contest, but in the orange buff as well. There's an will falls in the hands of Onic, so Bigatron Alpha, 0 compensation. Onic, 9,000 with the Lord. Do they have enough firepower to end?
At this point, generally I would say that the quote-unquote safe margin to just brute force a play, it's about 10k gold. And Onic are very, very close, and you can see it in the items, man. Sans is absolutely lethal right here, with a Divine Glaive already completed as well. CW sitting on full items, having the chance to item swap as well, with the setup in the top side, this means that Onic can very easily go for this decisive push right here. Super Ken tries to throw things out of balance, but here we go.
Heavy crossbow used up, tons. With a splash of damage, Super Ken not deciding to charge in. Super Ken has recall from that push in the bottom or top lane. Down the bottom lane, the Hans Lord will crash down and take the second base turret for Onic in Big John's base. Super Ken trying to bait out a few resources. Sounds with the Stampede once again. It's a battle in the base. It's a good defense for Big John Alpha, but they have lost two. Oh, Keyboy wasn't able to find a Divine Judgment. He used a flicker already. Was dodged away from. Super Ken once again trying to just distract, trying to look for an opening. Tar's Revenge connecting, but he knows that Kyrie has to have his spin. Again, Keyboy taken very low, already poked down so much, but Onic have taken three base turrets. Super Key losing immortality. Big John Alpha waiting for the play. Abyssal Strike used up. Super Ken jumps in again, but Keyboy is not able to catch him just yet. Three base turrets to 0. And it is a big win for Onic.
What the heck was that? No opening, no fights whatsoever. But Onic, you blinked, you missed that they got 3 base turrets out of that Lord. So a huge win. 2-man pull. Will they commit to this?
2-man Stampede, bring them back. Super Key with the conceal gets him out. Moreno's chasing Boots, gets him to half. But that's about it. That's all she wrote. Kyrie picks up the purple.
Look at Sans, they're just recalling, asserting dominance. This is what I was trying to say earlier, by the way. Match 1, all fights. Where do you see the plays happen? When is the game decided? In the Lord Pit, in those big team fights. With Onic, that's almost never the case. Why go for a risky, crazy fight where everything can happen when you can just set up so cleanly that Big John Alpha, with all their combos, all the penalty zones, the Tyrant's Rage, Tyrant's Revenge combos, they can't even find an opening to go in. Onic just sets up and ensures that, essentially communicates non-verbally that we are ready for every single engage you throw at us.
And when there's a fight, or when Onic wants a fight, 80-90% of it, they won. They know that they will win the fight. That's when they're committing. That's when they commit. And let's see, Bigatron Alpha here. How do they weather the storm is the question. The next Lord here, still minute 17. If Onic is cheeky, they will wait for minute number 18. But no, they immediately started, so they do not want the Evolved Lord.
I think it'll be too risky to wait all the way to 18th minute because Bigatron Alpha, it does give them the time to clear out these waves. But I do want to ask you, Arashi, do you think Bigatron Alpha can try to replicate what they did against Rebellion yesterday? Because it feels like whenever they get Fanny, that's the strategy, right? Same thing, cut, and then Lord, and then wait.
See, in theory, I think they can, but the problem here is Onic is way more decisive, and they have tools right here to begin a fight. The heavy spins, the Divine Judgments. If Super Ken tries to buy some time right there, Onic will push the sense of urgency onto him by threatening to go for a fight. And now here we go.
Super Ken jumps forward. They're not able to bait any of the resources. Now look at the base wide open. That's a flicker Divine Judgment. Bringing Super Ken back. 3-man penalty zone. The base is still open right now, but Cerezo will be able to sustain just a bit, but the Nether Realm does it a bit better. Super Ken jumps in again. Knock up by Kyrie. Almost taking him out. Waves have been cleared. Now 2 more coming down. Super Ken once again with cables. Going back and forth. Kyrie looking for a stop. Super Key jumps in with Tyrant's Revenge, but gets melted down, and this should be game number 1 for Onic. The minutes are coming down. It's crashing. 18 minutes. Onic stay disciplined, and they stomp.
Human versus nature.